But the special prosecutor's statement has a number of sticky points that gives us an idea of how things are playing out right now. One is that, yes, the special prosecutor interviewed Paul Adom Otchere and the two others. Paul Adom Otchere has, and the second point is that Paul Adom Otchere has been charged. The third point is that Paul Adom Otchere has so far been unable to meet his bail conditions. Now, the fourth sticky point that you must take note of, that he is required to present 2 landed properties of no specific value registered in his name. But then it stands to reason that the only reason why Paul Adom Otchere is still, from what information we're getting from the sources close in there, is that he's not been able to meet this bail condition, reason being that he says he does not have any landed property in Ghana in his name. As a result, he remains in custody until the bail conditions are satisfied. Now, what we do not know is whether or not some persons would come in to stand surety for him, or the night will be passed at wherever he is, apart from home. That is what is playing out right now. But he has indicated, based on the special prosecutor's statement, that he says, I do not have any landed property in Ghana of no specific value. I don't have any land property in my name. So as a result, he is in custody until he meets that bail condition. But if you recall, we woke up to a statement. In fact, there was also a video to that effect by Paul Adom Otchere. He had recorded an episode of his program to respond to some of the issues that the special prosecutor, he thought the special prosecutor was going to invite him based on that particular indication that he got yesterday. At least from what we do know, he has mentioned that, one, he didn't know that there was any contract that had been signed with this said company. 2, it was Manasseh Azure who even told him that the MD of the Ghana Airports Company Limited had signed this contract. He didn't know about it. And take note of the date of the contract signed, on the 3rd of December 2024. This was some 3 clear days. In fact, that's on the 4th of December, 3 clear days to December 7, 2024. And then also, he indicates that no money has been lost and no money was paid. This is his account of the reasons why he says the OSP is on a path of witch hunt. Take a look.
Act doesn't mention the board chairman anywhere. But anyway, this is Kisi Ajabi and the OSP, so no problem. All right. So he says he's investigating something related to revenue assurance audit service of a contract between some company, Evertex. At the board at the Ghana Airport Company, sometime around 2022, the Ghana Airport Company needed money. I mean, there was no money there was not enough money in the system, so they needed money. So the board invited the minister to sort of discuss the fees and charges, whether the minister could go through parliament and increase the fees and charges so that the Ghana Airport Company can make some revenue. The minister said no, he can't, because of the post-COVID Ukraine war. It's difficult to go and tell Ghanaians to pay more. So the board should find ways of raising more money, especially non-aeronautical. These are documented in terms of the policy to raise money through non-aeronautical. It's documented. What is non-aeronautical? If you buy a ticket, I buy a ticket, the airport company gets some money. That's aeronautical. Non-aeronautical is whether they deal in some land or they give somebody space to sell meat pie, or somebody is doing something, or other things that we can do, especially at the cargo area, see how we can get more revenue. All that is documented. So so we were looking for people who can help us in different ways to raise non-aeronautical revenue for the airport, because we're not going to get the fees and charges, because the government policy is that you can't do fees and charges at this time post Russia-Ukraine war. So somebody contacted the board and said that, look, you guys are losing money at cargo, and I can do it. My company can do it. So we said, okay, come to the board and come and do a presentation, which is very normal, very, very normal. So they came to the board to do a presentation and said that this is what we know and this is how it works. The board told them that yes, you have told us what it is, but there's no real evidence. You haven't given us any evidence that, in fact, we are losing money. And then they said that to do that, we have to work with your management to come and tell you, because we need access to your systems. When we get access to your systems, then we'll be able to tell you in the things that are the revenue that's happened already. So today is July. They will take last year's revenue and show you that this revenue that you got 1 million cedis, you could have gotten 3 million cedis. This revenue that you have 2 million cedis could have gotten 6 million cedis. So the management gave them that, and then they did that. And then the management brought them to the board the second time and said the people have finished their work, so let the board hear them. So the board heard them. And then they seem to know what they are talking about. They seem to show that, yes, revenue was lost and revenue can be gained. So the board told management that, okay, go ahead, which is also normal. The board tells the management, MD and your people, go ahead and work with them and report back to us. So they did, and they went to work with them. And then we continue our meetings. I had forgotten about it. I don't know anything about it. Then the management comes back that they finished with the people. They brought a proposal. It's a workable proposal, but it looks like the proposal, the people are saying that, well, I left something out. When the people said they wanted to do the audit, the original audit, we told them, and I in particular said it at the board meeting, that we can't pay any money. The Ghana Airport Company cannot pay you any money at all to do this work.
Well, he had also indicated in this same recording that he put out 15 minutes long that it was Manasseh Azure that first they mentioned to him that the MD had signed this contract on December 4th. Manasseh Azure also replied on his Facebook page. Says, I watched your special morning edition of Good Evening Ghana in which you named me. Even as my investigation into the contract is yet to be published, I wish to draw your attention to a few issues. You said I had engaged you on this matter and we had exchanged questions and answers. You also said you had yet to respond to some of the questions I sent you. This is wholly correct, and I am still waiting for your response to the questions after the several promises and timelines you give me. 2, in distancing yourself from the contract, you claimed on your show this morning that you didn't know the owners of the company that won the shady contracts. Paul, this is false. You have admitted to me, not once, but twice, that you knew the owners of the company from the very beginning. I have evidence of this, and Manasseh put this in capital letters. I also have evidence that a year before that company, that's the one which eventually won the contract, came to the board meeting you chaired at the Ghana Airports Company Limited. You had met those behind the company. So, Paul, it's a lie. Quote, if you claim you didn't know the owners of the company that won the contract. That's Manasseh there. 3, he says, you said the contract does not involve paying money to the company. You said the company would only receive a percentage, that's 15%, from any incremental revenue above the Ghana Airports Company Limited benchmark revenue from the sector during the company's operation. This claim is misleading. Why? SML has similar arrangements with the government, and they claim they only take a percentage from what they recover or the incremental revenue based on their work. By the end of 2023, we had paid $141 million to SML, but SML could not point to a single recovery they had made. SML could not flag any oil marketing company for wrongdoing. This according to Manasseh Azure, not even one, but they have been paid. And they are claiming credit for revenue increment from the sector even after our investigation exposed them and the KPMG report corroborated our findings. It goes on and on. It says, as in all the revenue assurance contracts, the company eventually makes millions of cedis from the state, but without any evidence of recoveries in their audits. Manasseh pointing out these things as well. Martin Pebo is private legal practitioner joining us. Counsel, good evening. Thank you for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. First of all, I want to find out from you how all of this strikes you right from the beginning, with the point Paul Adom Otchere makes in that video that he put out earlier today, that he did not know about this contract. It is Manasseh Azure that brought his attention to the fact that the MD had actually signed this contract on December 4. And now he has been invited as well to answer questions on us. And I asked you this question bearing in mind the limitations that we have discussing this, not talking about any sense of guilt or otherwise on this as the OSP is investigating.
Contract was brought to the board, etc. So now this U-turn that Paul is doing appears to be neither here nor there. But of course, in a court of law, so many other things can come up. So we cannot conclude here. But certainly from what is playing out so far in the public domain, Paul has an uphill task. He has shredded his own case even before, anything gets started in court.
And I want you to kindly reposition so we get a clear connection to you right now. But also, you talk about the fact that he's taking different positions and also taking into consideration what Manasseh Azure has just put out right now. He has consistently maintained, and I'm talking about Paul Adom Otchere, that this contract, he actually didn't even know the persons behind them. He hasn't met them before. Manasseh Azure says that's false. And then he also maintains that he got to know that this MD, the former MD, signed this contract on December 4 as well. Manasseh Azure is contesting that particular point as well. Counsel.
Yes, absolutely, Mr. Okansi. Absolutely. Nobody is saying for has committed a criminal conduct in competent jurisdiction that can pronounce him guilty after hearing evidence from both sides. That's including him, Paul himself. Yes, and for the 19 clause 2 of the Constitution 1992, which is at play. Correct. It's also within the rights of citizens to begin to take serious exception, okay, at the fact that even though the case hasn't gone to court, there's evidence in the public domain that he, Paul, had sent Manasseh Azure text messages, right, to confirm that a night before the contract came to the board, he, Paul Adom Otchere, met the owners of the company to whom he met them, Philly Gadochi. Sometimes let's use the local because the effect of communication. So it is too late in the day for Manasseh not aware of the contract. He cannot blow hot and cold. That is certainly not on. He cannot blow hot and cold. That is not on. That is certainly not on. Not in Ghana. We are too smart for that. He has expressly told Manasseh that he knew about the contract. He knew the owners of the contract. And he met the owners of the contract before the contract came to the board for approval. So it is too late. It's too late. He should go tell that to the Marines. Paul should tell that to the Marines, not to Ghanaians. We are smarter than that. Okay? And so this matter we are discussing is not a matter before any court. It's not sub-judice. We are talking about the fact that he's blowing hot and cold. Blowing hot and cold is not something that has been presented to a court. So we are not injuncted from discussing it. This is information that Manasseh has brought out. Manasseh has replied Paul publicly. And so we are free to discuss it, and we are free to begin to call out Paul.
And I make reference to that particular response by Manasseh Azure consistently because of some of the issues that he raises there. How do you see this case playing out in the coming days, taking into consideration what the special prosecutor himself or the statement from his office detailing the fact that as we speak now, Paul Adom Otchere says he doesn't have any landed property in his name of any value in Ghana, and as a result, those bail conditions have so far not been met as far as we do know. As of now, there are any updates, we'll definitely put it out to our viewers and waiting on the special prosecutor to give us those updates. But how do you see things playing out in the coming days?
Yeah, so special prosecutor, look, for the case, for Paul to have been invited, okay, it means that the special prosecutor has already finished with preliminary investigations. Yes, that is what the law governing the special prosecutor requires, that before inviting the person, the special prosecutor first has to conduct preliminary investigations to see if there is any need to call the person. The special prosecutor doesn't start his investigations by straight away calling the alleged suspect. No, the law says he should first conduct some investigations without the alleged suspect to see if there is any basis before he calls the alleged suspect. So for the special prosecutor to invite Paul Adom Otchere, it means that that basic threshold has already been cleared. This means that this is a serious case. It is no child's play. It is no child's play at all because the special prosecutor has already cleared one stage of preliminary investigations before calling in Paul. So that preliminary investigation will involve things like at least scrutinizing to see, was there a contract in the first place? Was that contract approved whilst Paul Adom Otchere was board chair, etc.? A whole number of things. So this is a very serious case. And let me repeat again, look, even if this case doesn't end up in court, the part where he's already blowing hot and cold, okay, approbating and reprobating is already in the public domain, and that side is finished.
Well, Martin Bebo, appreciate your time on this, and thank you very much.
I'm saying Bigwigs Ghana Airport Company Limited. And when you Ghana and Central Paul Adom Otchere, or call special prosecutor office no. Ebesi no nyanko fie. Maybe another method say a special prosecutor mama ni bail. Na ya sa inviting back to the office of the special prosecutor. Enti ne yere ne makra nya hu nti odaso ho. Enti minim si be obekọ back to Blue Gate anase no beku fie akwakoda. But yemfa no ntoche na Paul Adom Otchere now the board chairman Edema Ghana Airport Company Limited. And a more the contract majuma could be a friend Evertex. Say or monkonko ye den or monko buama revenue leakages in Tria. Na sa company na SML I Ken Ofori Atta eddy $141 million contract mo say a year petroleum downstream or monkonko say and crofo to petrol no de ba no mun sisi in terms of taxes no nkronba and no kra ho asem da ho said makunwa na shechira sa Evertex no so si omodia na Paul Adom Otchere e claim say or no as a board chairman no he has no hands in the deal na sa company no kra no na woni mo ba bia. But evidence eba from Manasseh Azure investigative journal work say when Paul Adom Otchere kasama Paul Adom Otchere kasa jetum say yes he knew about the company because of mobile board meeting I no Paul Adom Otchere as a board chairman no timubie. Another revelation kra bobo battle say no Paul Adom Otchere no kasa kra na the company ni buy. And to no on company ni cry before bibia it means like omu cookie bibia we chere the but me ha because office of the special prosecutor na juma na question we am person me busa ne say sama me no to airport hodom no MD no no to eden Yvonne no what ho ye den
so oye juma
according to Yvonne was say sa company no mo ba be form no Omaduma efo a omode be said more airport to just one employee.
Say
according to Manasseh. Sir Evertex no audit no so kwakoye for revenue blah 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 airport no. Adwuma no omode ne ko enipa ba akope.
From airport. Yes.
But Oko Airport Company Limited a wono no owo adwuma yefo over 1,500. As a 1,500 no oko obabia omo eye eba no audit and risk management and compliance department no omo 9 staffs 8 permanent staff omo no ntumi nye sa adwuma no adwuma nipa nwotwe nipa nkro na ntumi anye enti nipa ba ko betumi aye.
Wow.
And I'm inviting company obe presentation am award contract di ama no. It is I mean what ho ya dey. If Paul Adom Otchere has questions to answer as a board chairman, what about the MD? Who introduced the company to the board? Because no business And a person or new company because contractor, they will go straight to the board. You go straight through the management. What they will propose are called Nasa one some now can toil sumua.
But the board member can also introduce.
Meba. What the one some no call propose are called management of the company. No more reading us Thomas Sumua. No person with Timu Yanoma to say Ubranebe Church in sometimes over their presentation. We have presentation, we are not management near convincer. Then they refer to board. What you convince about now the soon say a to man about the amount of clearance, so go ahead and deal with them. According to my Miyaka was a contract in the commercial. We don't care whether so much man as a unchemu. A dear now here in the first place. Enter mutuam. Sankani siama power and kabichem. Sankani siama power and kubichem. Due diligence ben wo yeah and sakra na all the company na to mama mark board. Abe presentation akọ board for approval. Due diligence ben wo yeah. Ti ma mi not why then.
Oh, person why then.
If Paul Adom Otchere as a board chairman has questions to answer, she must equally have questions to answer.
Maybe she's not being called.
Timame no special prosecutor minim die nti a onto nsam frɛ no. Na nim die nti a Paul Adom Otchere no da sɛ samame ne do da ne fie. Company nanahade. PPA MOMA approval for this contract.
Evertex phone.
Yes, 2nd December 2024. Omo receiving management receiving on 3rd December 2024. And omo forwarded to board December 11, 2024. But to correct contract now they signed the contract on 4th December 2024.
Go through again.
PPA an approval for this contract to be signed.
PPA no.
Public Procurement Authority. An approval say omo engage ometimi anas omo sign contract no.
Okay.
Date omo approval was December 2, 2024.
PPA tias here. Okay.
Ena Ghana Airport Company Limited receiving on the 3rd of December 2024.
Okay.
And omo forwarded to board for approval. On the 11th of December 2024.
Okay.
But great date almost sign contract with the Evertex now 4th December 2024.
Before forwarded to the board.
Yes.
So
what it means in say what it means in say the contract was signed even before forwarded to management.
And you need a board approval before the contract to be signed. Who is the board chairman?
Paul Adom Otchere was the board chairman. And who was the MD?
How can he say Unimole?
No, we say Paul need on question or answer.
To focus the MD, no.
Paul need on question or answer that.
Okay.
But the question is, PPM approval no. Let me buy him for eba management. And a management eba second. And a more receiving is third. And a more also the man board 11th. By contract no, any board in the sign, the management of the company in the sign.
But I'm Sam, okay, finish. So
management of the company in the sign. Board now approve we are management muna sign. By contract no sign on 4 December 2024, 3 days to elections. Meanwhile, records are what say. Let Arrést command board 11 December for approval. So before I let another call board no man sign. You be say maame no a almost a friend say Yvonne nana efi your paro mu say no so ebeye mistake. How can it be a mistake?
So firstly, when I can say
she has no questions to answer.
No, I'm not saying that. Take also this one into consideration. I'm also learning, and I don't know the truthful part of it. Say Manasseh Azure so posted on the Facebook wall. Say contract, say from the board level, even before the manager or managing director got involved or got to know about it.
Radio. Per this records. Once you go to see omuko board meeting minute everything is there.
That's right.
The records were Ghana Airport Company Limited Nankasa provided.
Okay.
As far as this deal is concerned.
Okay. And I will be boss.
And I may be boss.
Very well.
No mubi sama me no ye MD on or so date ni dey e be a mistake.
Okay.
How can this be a mistake?
Okay.
And why is this not enough?
Okay.
For OSP to investigate or to invite her for questioning?
I get you.
Why? And how come sir or realize this say contract when after say NDC are winning elections?
But the question I also ask is, do we think, say, JDM doesn't know why he's still keeping the woman there?
Is it?
But it's a multi-million CD question. I mean, John Dramani Mahama should know why he keep me too.
Who say Mahama buy no?
Yes.
Na Ghana for the Ghana police service cry tired of Dampare.
Okay.
Everybody wanted Dampare out. Even enoma cry and police headquarters so nyina esu anu musu no omoni amoni gunu a whole rough said they didn't want Dampare.
Will be the to say be.
Because they are no money job na rough na a sign said they don't want Dampare. President Mahama din.
Okay.
Ano ma Dampare adwuma. Election violence of course so for report to bra. And no crap President Mahama na say mo kai free na numu is recorded on video ni say present the report.
Yes.
But official communique free Jubilee House to them na say it's like a man looking like so onkonko ye no fa report bra. And no crap man ample time. He couldn't deliver 100.5 and he was fired. Mami by Ghana for raising issues.
The crime reason.
And on that so ho. Me so be so atena ho. So onko so ntena ho enya masem.
Okay. But your issue is that
my issue is that
in connection with the matter.
Yes, as far as this deal is concerned,
argument
this woman to have I was saying man answer questions.
Okay. Fair question. Or first submission, I should say.
Germany answer first question. NASA company we MPP MPP a criminal organization. They are very smarter. Sa papa ya juma ya ne dia. The Informer newspaper some years a publishing a team company anu ye fishy deals or the court to treatia no mbu case no say defamation from timber company and the ba SMS and no kwakwa audit oil you be say okay so once we na kwakwa audit downstream audit na okoye and what may identify any oil company or underpay tax we so twa magana na si there bi want me o who can also the entire found says so those companies you know they are underpaying taxes. Ken Ofori Atta the question just to know for free money $141 million, $100 million. Tomuri no MPP who said now move free power no. And almost had the question airport because no pe baby every day sikaba. Oil sector or downstream no every day every second money is flowing. Because we are dania we better petrol, we better diesel, we better gas. And every day in so to ye didio, ye ndidio, ye yadio, ye nyadio, ye better petrol. I know the question no mbedi. I know me say airport was so there. Ade say terminal 3 why fenti Uber West Africa #1. Some crofo kobe ni to was this Kennedy Agyapong intino omo de akose di na so omuti oppositions na omo na control the economy. Entimusa MD ni say due diligence be no ye nana woti ya into bi kura ba say who a business who a business owner na obi ba say opese ope contract man contract no obetime anya Unya background check say company crab crave free himfa. No was our experience.
Especially when you were the CEO.
Company I can answer me. Korea only certificate license as a audit firm crown only be Evertex only be. Only accredited company that is not only licensed company to even conduct any audit. No institution in Ghana or Africa in the world now accredited says our company we has been accredited or licensed. So obetimia of audit service. So on what grounds? A quaben of us to convince MD not airport or man. A quaben of us to convince no. Emma man so a leading little call board. Emma a contract yes I. Now how come say where once a company where Fragadam she will only knew say this company Fragadam after say NDC have an election. That woman must I was say a manifest questions no answer. What I saw about China's one time it's none of my business.
Very well.
Because I didn't free management in a core board. Now say the board were questions to answer. What about the management?
What if she was overpowered by the board chair?
Overpowered and or incompetent. So her incompetent, so she must answer for her incompetence. The negligence and incompetence nearly cost Ghana millions of dollars. And for that matter, she must answer for her incompetence.
Because maybe investigations, some friend and because what we know is at the hierarchy of administration. Board powerful.
So we have friend now much and President Mahama.
It's chances are that you better take a decision from the top.
And President Mahama.
Anyways.
So long as this matter is concerned, I think say it be appropriate for that woman to step aside for proper investigations to go on.
Or she should be called so that
because
she can
also say see ano umetimi adane dane niama. Said the Chief Justice get to Tokonu Araba. Yamana tranche a ye di na asem no. Maami so betima tranche nya hwem. Nye meka so ono as a MD, she has no hands in it. She didn't do anything wrong. Doye bia was legal.
Sammy first man.
Procedurally, waya juma kama na restate no. Anti sadia the fight against corruption ni eye na kan wasem ni nkogu na mate say yukufo e plead say yensan for or more original jurisdiction power no mo anan committee probe eye corruption no and sapamo mu biom. Na things say it's about high time.
Very well.
Because the only institution in Ghana for trust as far as say dealing with crime, through financial crimes and corruption yuku.
Very well. His name is Samuel Hunto, a broadcast journalist.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.